Welcome. My name is Monica Postel, and this is part 3 of our Quick Impact series called 5 Keys to Implementing a Successful Customer Service Strategy. In previous parts of the series, I've touched on the importance of intent and how understanding and acting from intent will inspire your team. And I've talked about the impact of empowering your teams and ways of enabling them. During this webcast, I'm going to introduce the third key to implementing a successful customer service strategy. That is to provide proper training. In preparing for this webcast, I came across an interesting post from Ben Horowitz, who currently is a venture capitalist, but wrote the article, Why It's Crucial to Train Your Employees, from the perspective of being the former director of product management at Netscape. The article made a lot of good points and began by quoting Andy Grove, former CEO of Intel, as saying, most managers seem to feel that training employees is a job that should be left to others. I, on the other hand, strongly believe the manager should do it himself. Although I may have added herself in there, the point is managers have a lot to share and a lot riding on the success of their team. So if you're a manager, you should invest time training your people. Which isn't to say that professional trainers you might hire or have on staff shouldn't be involved. But really, who could be better to lay out expectations and to make sure the team is ready to do the job than you? I thought the article made several other good points. One of the things he pointed out, and I wholeheartedly agree with, is that if you don't train your people, you have no basis for managing their performance. Sure, hiring for customer service attitude is important, but when it comes to customer service skills, and in particular any skills necessary to implement your customer service strategy, you better lay out your expectations and train your team to do the job. Providing good job-specific training that supports your customer service strategy not only gives everybody a common service vocabulary and lets everyone practice that which is required, but it also helps retain talent. While at Netscape, for example, Mr. Horowitz pointed out that one of the two primary reasons that he found people quit the company was they weren't learning anything. That's in quotes. The company wasn't investing in employees. Job training is an important part of any talent retention program. I'm in companies all over the world and I see this all the time. Employees notice when their company makes an effort to give them something that's going to help them do their jobs better. And most respond with increased effort and enthusiasm. And if they don't, well, maybe it's not a good fit. The last point I took from the article that supports the key element of implementing a successful, lasting customer service strategy was to provide proper training, or beware of the mess that you have on your hands if you don't. I was just talking to a high-tech client of ours who bemoaned the challenges that come from rapid growth. Now, she wasn't unhappy about the growth, just the headaches that came with it. The Horowitz article mentioned the same thing. New engineers are hired and set loose to fix bugs, write code, without anybody taking time to let them know how code has been written in the past or the whys and the wherefores of the architecture, which leads to, and I quote, inconsistencies in the user experience, performance problems, and a general mess. The same thing can happen with service skills. We all know the floor creates its own rules if left in a vacuum. Creativity reigns and it can be a mess, with inconsistencies in the way things are handled and in the information even that's given to customers. For me, proper training means that the training fits the initiative or the job to be done, and it prepares the trainee in a meaningful way to be able to do his or her job. At Impact, that means practice, 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 especially if communication skills are involved. But there are lots of other creative ways to deliver results that don't necessarily involve e-learning or the classroom. Okay, let's say you have a customer service initiative aimed at showing customers that you really care. Which approach do you think would be more fitting and meaningful an activity for the team to really get them ready to show that they are meant to help customers? This, a dedicated trainer, ready to explain what to do and why it's important, using great handouts, really interesting PowerPoints, or a challenge to go out and deliver random acts of kindness, like carrying groceries for somebody or donating clothes to a shelter or serving meals at a soup kitchen. This, by the way, was something that a call center in Canada did as part of their new hire training. It reportedly not only had an incredible effect on the reps, they really took it to heart, but it also had a really positive effect on the company's reputation in the community. So your third key to ensuring a successful implementation of your customer service strategy is to provide proper training. Training that lets your staff know what you want, how to do it, what you don't want, and gives ample practice to build confidence. So here are some questions related to training. One of them is, what does a rep need to be able to do to support your customer service strategy? Sure, functionally they need to be able to take an order, or open a trouble ticket, or whatever the job calls for, but take it right down to the keystroke and button pressing level. I can't tell you how often it has been that I've run into reps that don't know some of the basic functions of their telephone. Following that, what does a rep need to know? I wouldn't limit it to product and service knowledge either. Do they need to know, for example, what happens upstream of their work or downstream of their job? If there's a ripple effect, it's probably pretty important for them to know what effect their actions have on their customers and their coworkers. Does your training do both of these things? And finally, what could be done differently to make it more relevant? In the next part of the series, I'll be talking about the fourth key, monitoring and feedback, and about one thing that is guaranteed to obliterate any hope of success for your customer service strategy. You won't want to miss that. Thank you for being with me today. If you'd like more information about creating a sustainable customer service strategy, please give us a call at 800-545-9003 or visit our website.